Hello, movie lovers, and welcome back to The Spoiler Zone, where we don't just watch movies, we dissect them scene by scene. Today, we're diving deep into the 2018 Oscar winning film, Green Book, directed by Peter Farrelly. But hold on. Before we go any further, you know the drill. This is the spoiler zone, which means I'm throwing out a big, bold spoiler warning right now. If you haven't seen Green Book yet, hit pause, find it on your favorite streaming service, watch it, and then come back. Trust me, it's worth the time. But if you're here for the full breakdown, well, buckle up, because we're heading straight into the 1960s Deep South. Let's start with a little history. Green Book isn't just a story, it's inspired by real people, real letters, and a very real guidebook, the Negro Motorist Green Book. Think of it as a survival guide for African American travelers during the Jim Crow era. It was created by Victor Hugo Green, a postal worker, to help Black Americans navigate safe spaces, restaurants, motels, and businesses during a time of segregation and hostility. This film introduces us to two incredible men, Don Shirley, a world-class African-American pianist, and Frank Tony Lip Vallelonga, an Italian-American bouncer from the Bronx. Two people who, on the surface, couldn't be more different but come together on an unforgettable road trip that changes both of their lives. And let me tell you, the heart of Green Book isn't just in its destination, it's in the journey, those moments of discomfort, laughter, anger, and understanding. But don't let me jump ahead. Let's talk about these two characters because, oh boy, Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali didn't just play roles, they lived them. Let's break it down. Mahershala Ali as Don Shirley brings this calm, collected elegance to the role, but also a deep loneliness. Shirley isn't just a brilliant musician, he's a man navigating isolation, too white for some black spaces and too black for white spaces. There's this line in the movie where he says, "If I'm not black enough and if I'm not white enough, then tell me, what am I?" Mahershala delivers it with raw vulnerability. Then you've got Viggo Mortensen as Tony Lip. He's rough, loud, and at times hilariously blunt. Tony starts off as the stereotypical Italian guy from the Bronx, greasy fingers, folding pizza slices, and a lot of swearing. But Viggo adds layers to Tony, showing us a man whose world expands one conversation at a time. He doesn't just drive Don Shirley, he starts to understand him. And the chemistry between these two actors? Phenomenal! It's a masterclass in opposites attracting. They're like two mismatched puzzle pieces that somehow fit perfectly by the end of the movie. The movie takes us on this incredible road trip through the Deep South, a region that isn't exactly rolling out the red carpet for Don Shirley. It's uncomfortable to watch at times, like that scene where Shirley isn't allowed to eat in the very restaurant where he's performing later that night. Moments like these hit hard because they remind us that talent, wealth, or class don't protect you from racism. But Green Book isn't all heavy, there's humor sprinkled throughout. Tony teaching Don how to eat fried chicken, gold. Tony writing love letters to his wife while Don helps him edit them, wholesome and hilarious. Here's where some criticism comes in. Some viewers felt that the film simplified the issue of race, turning it into a story about a white man saving a black man. Others pointed out that Don Shirley's family contested parts of the narrative. And I get it, no film is perfect. But what Green Book does so well is give us a glimpse of two people growing in ways they never expected. It shows us friendship as a bridge, an imperfect one maybe, but a bridge nonetheless. At the end of the day, Green Book is about connection. It's about stepping outside your comfort zone to see the world through someone else's eyes. It's not just Tony learning to respect Don, it's Don breaking down Tony's walls. That final scene, where Tony invites Don to his family's Christmas dinner, carries an unspoken message. Acceptance starts small. It starts with conversations, fried chicken, and handwritten letters. Maybe Green Book doesn't solve racism, but it reminds us to look for humanity in each other. And in 2024, I think that's a message we can still get behind. So, what's my verdict? Green Book may not be a perfect film, but it's a powerful one. It's funny, heartfelt, and anchored by two incredible performances that deserved every award they got. If you haven't seen it, or if you're ready for a rewatch, give it a shot. Sometimes the people we least expect can teach us the most. All right, friends, that's it for today's episode of The Spoiler Zone. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit subscribe and leave a review. I'll be back next week with another film breakdown.